All right, I would like to call this meeting of the West Dallas West Milwaukee School Board to order. Mr. Keller, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Sarah, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Verbos,
Here.
Mr. Lee,
Here.
Mr. Becker,
Here.
Mr. Talani,
Here.
Ms. Carr,
Here.
Ms. Lee is excused, Mr. Keller,
Here.
President Burns is excused, and Ms. Deal.
Here. Proper notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the open meeting laws of the state of Wisconsin. Do we have any modifications to the agenda?
There are no modifications.
All right, then I would ask for a motion and a second to adopt the agenda.
Move to adopt the agenda. Second.
All right. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes and the agenda is adopted. All right, so our first thing that we get to start out with today is to hear from Wilson Elementary. So welcome, and I'll let you, make sure you're light or your.
They read the sheet
Okay.
for us, so we knew to hit the button.
All right.
Good evening. Thanks for having us here. We are representing Wilson Elementary. So I'm going to jump into, I want to get the kids talking more than me. But you can see this is our theory of action. I'm not going to go through it all because it directly aligns to our district theory of action with the four main components that are listed on the side: the high impact strategies, priority standards, collaborative teams, and ownership of our outcomes. And today's presentation is really going to hone in on those first top two. Then we wanted to share some of our data, which is why we have this team of kids. This is our 5K data. But we've noticed that some of the phonics instruction, some of our literacy instruction, our data has greatly improved, specifically in grades 5K, but also in first grade as well. So we just kind of wanted to highlight the success we've been having. So I have Mrs. Pettit here with her 2 first graders and Miss Azalina with her 2 first graders, and they will take it away.
All right. Cameron and I are going to start with our comprehension lessons. So actually, so we follow the 5-day comprehension lesson framework that every school is using. And so what we do is we take a text from Scholastic and then we create our own lessons to align with the priority standards as set out by the district. So if you just briefly look through that 5-day cycle, and we've been doing this every week since the beginning of the year. So the piece we have to share with you today is from the book Bear Snores On. And when we create these lessons, we align it with the Scholastic's essential question as well as the priority standard. So day 1, we set the purpose for reading. As you can see, we have our learning intentions and success criteria. We hit vocabulary a lot the first day. This week's one of the words was blubbers. We had a lot of fun acting out blubbers, blubbering. Then after we go through it as a class, we answer some yes and no questions. And then the kids also work independently on giving examples in their life when someone was blubbering. We had a lot of chats about people getting hurt, and then non-examples would be someone not blubbering. So the first read, what we do is we read the text, and then we also decide how we're going to roll out the priority standard for the week. So for this particular book, we were focusing on how to create questions. You wouldn't think that you have to scaffold and explicitly tell, well, how do you create a question? That is, the purpose is to learn more about a story. So all week we practiced, we skipped that part. We did when questions, we did where questions, how, why. And then on day 5, this is when we gave our final read, and then we have a common formative assessment. What we do is we give the assessment, and then as a grade level, we look at it together and think, okay, where are we where kids knocking it out of the park and what do we need to review? So we had two components to this one where kids had to answer questions about Bear Snores On, and then they had to ask Bear specifically a question. So Cameron has his piece that I have up here. He wants me to talk about it. So in that box, the question was, who was in the cave? And who did you tell me was in the cave? The chipmunk and Raven, and who was sleeping?
The bear.
The bear. And so as you can see, he illustrated and labeled. And then Cameron, where did the story happen?
In the cave.
And then what did they eat and drink? Do you remember?
Tea and honey nuts.
And honey nuts. And also, what was this pot there? Why did you draw that?
There's the pot of the honey nuts.
And the stew, right?
Yeah.
And then Bear was feeling real sad at one point in the story. Why was he feeling so sad?
Because they was having the fun, but the bear didn't have any fun because he was taking a nap.
And I'll just show you a quick picture. So all the animals are having a party, and poor Bear is hibernating until what lands on his nose? Do you remember? So a little piece of something.
Little piece of pepper.
And so then what we did is for the ask a question, the prompt was like, what would you ask Bear if you could talk to him at the end of the story? And we gave them some examples, and Cameron chose the how did it feel when? Read your question. Okay, go ahead. So you can do how. How? You want me to read for you? Okay, yeah. It's a lot of people. How did it feel when you woke up from your nap? And what I really enjoyed about Cameron's response here is that he drew pictures of himself, as you can see, asking Bear the question, and Bear just looking really, really sad right there. And so he decided that Bear was feeling sad because everyone was having a party without him. And we would all be sad if everyone was having a party without us, right? And so just from that example, he definitely understood the story and the standard.
So that's now my turn. So we've been doing so much with phonics this year with a new UFly. And the why behind it, I'm just going to quickly talk about how the Science of Reading connection with Act 20 this year. UFly has explicit phonics for us to teach. There's repetition, there's routines that build confidence. In a second, I'm going to show you my classroom where we do a routine every day with visual drills. It's multisensory. So in this drill that you're going to be seeing, we're doing letters. We're looking at letters and the kids are telling me what sounds they make, but we also do actions with their hands too. Some of the kids, if they want to, they don't have to, but we do actions as well. And why it works is it just helps struggling readers because it's consistent. Every day we go through letters and sounds. So I don't know if you can play that. I don't know if you guys want to do it with us. Want to do it? No? So they're doing hands signals. So A. And then they do their faces, their faces. They're being shy now. So we kind of do this throughout the lesson. It's about a minute. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but so we do all hand signals and we do facial signals. So it brings in all the senses as well. So, oh, thank you. This is just the priority standards of phonics. I won't go through this all, but all the phonics is what I'm going to be focusing on with the writing as well. Oops, I went backwards. Sorry. I didn't practice with the clicker thing. Miss Pluto was playing with it. It's for what we're seeing as the teacher's perspective for students is students are more confident this year using UFly. The engagement has increased. Students transfer skills into authentic reading and writing, which my two students here will be showing their writing in just a minute. That's just amazing to me. The routines create success for our learners. And for teacher benefits, it's been so awesome to have the easy routines, strong pacing, high engagement from all our kids. There's a clear skill progression by grade level, students knowing expectations, and the confidence in teaching phonics explicitly has been awesome this year. So I'm really excited that we got this curriculum. And we also, within the curriculum, learn irregular words. And those are words that don't follow the normal pattern with the letter sounds that we have for like the word because, the B, E, C. I think you guys have probably seen this from other schools that have shared about UFly. But we do a couple fun things as well with the UFly. And one of them is we do basketball spelling. I don't know if you guys know, but Miss Azalina loves to play basketball. So we do dribblings, and you guys want to do it with me for because? Is it the top one or the bottom? I don't know how to use this. That one?
Zahara showed me. So.
Okay. I don't have a fancy clicker. Oh, here's the kids. And then they shoot the ball at the end. So we do that with all the irregular words. We do BECAUSE and then shoot the ball for because. So that's some of the regular words. We've done shaving cream. Last week we did shaving cream. Oh, she's already passing you through. And then we also do a sparkle spelling where we go in a circle and spell the words, and the kid that afterwards the words spelled, they say sparkle and they sit down and they just have so much fun with it. So we do sparkle spelling too, that maybe we can talk about later. So that's with our irregular words.
So there is a missing component from UFly that's a vital part of reading instruction and explicit phonics instruction, which is called phonography mapping, which is basically word mapping where you connect sounds to spoken language. And so step one, you start with your phonemes. So like if we did the word cat, we would segment it at. And then graphemes, we match it to the letters, C-A-T. And then when you're phonography mapping, you put the letters in individual boxes so you can isolate the sounds. And then kids blend it, write it, and then they read the word. This is a really important lesson strategy. It's a research-based instructional strategy. It activates multiple parts of the brain. It improves decoding and encoding across all skill levels. So your students who have lagging skills and others who we're looking to extend. And it's really the most impactful also with your students who have lagging skills because it involves the tactile piece, the auditory piece, the visual piece. And that's just an example of what it might look like in the classroom. So Zahara is gonna model some phonography mapping, and are you gonna teach everyone? Okay. So.
The word is chick. Touch
So
spell.
everyone put their hand up, and what do we need to do?
Segment.
Oh, sorry.
Eh.
Okay. Then we all do it.
Eh. Chick. What's the first sound?
Mhm. All right.
Mr. D got it. You hear
And
it?
Zahara, why is CH in one box?
Because it's a team.
Makes one sound, all right? And then what's the next sound, right?
What's the next sound?
Yeah.
What's the last sound?
Uh-oh, you stumped him.
Good job, Cameron. And Zahara, why is CK in one box?
Because it's a team.
And the word is?
Chick.
And so did you want to do one more? Do we have time for one more? Would that be okay? Should we do green? Okay.
The word is green. Touch spell it.
Okay, here we go.
G.
E.
What's the first sound? G. What's the next sound? O. What's the next sound? E. Why is it E in one box? Because it's a team. What's the last sound? What does that spell?
What does it spell?
What does it spell?
So that's our phonographic mapping routine. Good job, Zahara.
Thanks, Zahara. All right, I'm taking the clicker back.
Oh, and then just quickly, so you can, that's just the priority standard. You can skip that. I did want to show how UFly has impacted like Zahara's writing. So the first is an example from fall where she has simple sentences. You can see some phonetic spelling, and then check out her spring writing. I mean, how beautiful is that? Common spelling patterns, high frequency words. And then I also have an example of Cameron. So here's his fall spelling, very simple sentence phonetic spelling. And then here's his spring. So you can see the huge growth there. And and UFly has been a huge piece of that as well.
All right, that brings it back to me. So for our writing, the students absolutely love writing in first grade. As a matter of fact, this is from last week, Friday, and my kids got a free choice Friday for their reading time. And I think 99% of the kids wanted to work on their writing, which is like awesome to me. Do you want to click it? So here's a couple more pictures of the kids working on their writing. And then I have Betty Lou and Aiden here tonight. They're going to read some of their realistic fiction writing. But I just wanted to show also that this year they participate in the Haws, Hannah's Haven partnership, where they got to read with a dog. Betty Lou did it every week and Aiden did it on a subbing basis. So that was something also really cool. So that's okay. I'm going to give it to Betty Lou now. She's going to share her realistic fiction piece, which is also up here, but hey, Betty.
One sunny day, Kate was at the lake. She loved to swim. She was so excited. She could not wait. Kate jumped into the lake. She swam. Yay, said Kate. It was so sunny that the lake was warm. It is never warm, said Kate. But then Kate said, uh-oh, a wave. Slam, she went underwater, but she was a great swimmer. I can swim very well, said Kate. She felt way happier now. She said, it is very late. I will go home. The end.
Yeah, so this was such a great job by Betty Lou. And we just started talking about dialogue and she started adding that in as well. So that was pretty amazing. And also I have Aiden here. He's going to read his writing piece of realistic fiction as well. You ready, Aiden?
One morning, Jay was sleeping, and then he heard something like a banging sound, and then ring, ring, his alarm went off. So he got up and splash. He got water on his face and got out of his bathroom and heard more banging. Then he looked at where it was coming from. It was coming from the neighbors, so he put on his headphones and got out of his PJs. Then he shut off his alarm. He put on his favorite song. Jay took a walk, and on his way back, he saw a rare flower. So he picked it up and went back home. The end.
Excellent job. So we're just so proud of the work they've been doing this year, and UFly has been a huge part of that. So thank you very much. Any questions?
All right, thank you, Wilson. Board members, do we have any questions? Ms. Carr.
Just a comment, as I saw all of the UFly activities, reminds me very much of what we might have done with a specialty reading group, like where if you needed some help. Now the whole class, Elkonin boxes, come on, that's good stuff.
Yes.
So using all of those strategies with the whole class, I think was very underutilized years ago. And that was really nice to see. Yep. And I noticed a huge, and I would assume that you picked the cream, but I'll bet you a lot of the kids' spelling has improved because of this.
Yeah, and I wish I would have put their pre-writing in there.
Yep.
Because you would see
Yeah.
a huge difference.
Yeah,
just
I can
in that
tell.
moment. Yeah.
I was so worried about spelling for so long. So it's
Yeah.
really nice to see that that's transferring over, because isn't that what it's all about?
Right.
Does this transfer over to readers and writers?
And we want them to feel successful to be able to spell instead of coming as, how do you spell? And now they're just using what they know and
Right.
putting the sounds together.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you.
Other board members have questions, comments? Mr. Becker?
Thanks so much for sharing, you guys. So we all can see the difference. Do you feel the difference between what you could do at the beginning of the year and what you can do now as writers? Just a nod is okay. I don't need big answers.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it? or-
That's really great. You guys should be proud. It's really great.
All right. Anyone else? Well, I just want to say thank you for coming. I was incredibly impressed by all of you. Their writing, you guys have some great handwriting. Keep that up, okay? But yes, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your learning with us. Yeah, let's give you guys a round of applause. All right, we'll move on then to the superintendent's report. Dr. Robinson?
So again, thank you guys for being here tonight. Very, very impressive. I thought I was looking at like third graders or something, no. So seriously, great job. So our legislative updates this week. Unfortunately, there's some bad news coming out of Madison. The budget surplus bill was voted down on last week. So at this particular point, we're kind of in a wait and see mode. But after speaking with our representative the other day, that it doesn't look like there's any good news on the horizon. So we'll be patient with that. I wanted to actually bring up Mary Pat Michaels. I'm gonna put her on the spot. She doesn't know this. Come on up. You happen to show up to the right meeting tonight. Come on up here. I was going to read this slide, but I just thought I would bring you up and you talk about the accomplishment again that we've received as a district. So, Ms. Mary Pat Michaels,
Look at how short I am.
tell us the good
Okay.
news.
Okay, I think there should be a box. I need a box. I think this is our 12th year, right? 12th, is that what I put on here? Our 12th year of receiving the Best Communities of Music Education in the country from NAM, which is the National Association of Music Merchants. So all the music stores and all the places that support music education in the schools, that's their organization. And so we apply. It's like, takes me about 45 minutes to write a bunch of essays and fill out all of the information about our district and our music program. So it's fun to kind of go through and find things that we do that are different each year. So I don't sound like I'm saying the same thing to them. And then get to press go and send it in and hope we get the email each year. So we're very proud of our district because we do have music starting in kindergarten for instruments and all the way through, which I think only happens in 2 districts in the whole state for strings. So, yeah. So thank you. And you
I
brought me
could
up
not have
there.
done a better job than you. So I knew what to
And
do.
these pictures, what are these pictures? Prelude Strings, which is Wednesday this week at Central. That's the top one. And the bottom one is all of the kids singing at the tree lighting.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Great job.
Thank
Great
you.
job. We did want to highlight, we've been in the news for great things lately. And so we just wanted to just draw some attention to some of the headlines that we've made. Often districts run away from headlines because they're all negative. But when you have positive news, you want to make sure that everybody knows it. And so this past week, the past 2 weeks, the district has been highlighted 5 times on the various news outlets. So Teacher Appreciation Week at Jefferson, for example, West Allis Central High School, art teacher with her providing a safe place for students through their artwork. Our West Allis Blue Jays, the combined team softball. Wisconsin Adaptive Sports Association at West Milwaukee, and then a young Liberace's Promising Beginning featuring West Milwaukee. So again, we love news, but especially the good news. So let's keep up the good work. Do want to bring up, I am going to give him permission to say a few words. Mr. Matt Lesser, Come on up. You know, notice there was a specific amount or quantitative measure I put in there, and it was few. So just stay within. Now it doesn't have a certain numerical value to it, but just few. All right, Mr. Lesser, can we do that?
All right.
All right, all
Where do
right.
you want these guys?
I warned him.
You want to
Right.
sit here? You guys want to sit here or stand here
So we did receive some great news. The Nathan Hale High School Junior Achievement, our junior achievement team has advanced to national competition. And part of the approval that we're going to ask tonight in our action items is to approve them going to Boston for the competition. I am going to turn it over to Mr. Lester because I just took some of his time.
Yep.
That was intentional. So now he
or?
can
No,
wrap
I'm
it
just
up.
extending it out.
Now,
okay?
I'm handing you the baton.
All
Let's
right.
bring
all
it
right.
home.
Handing me the mic.
Bring it home. The baton. Bring it home. All right.
So,
all right. There you go.
well, yeah, I'm honored to be here today with Robert Kovacic and Ashton Stonecipher. And Sam Cab is he runs the 400 at the GMC championships right now. So he's over there, so he can't attend. Mr. Machinsky is with us today as the business teacher that directed this process. So they're going to talk a little bit about how their path went, but we're really proud of this group. We had 2 teams of 3 in the junior achievement contest. I'll just say he threw it out there on ACT day when all the 9th, 10th, and 11th graders were there and all the seniors were sleeping in and doing their online work to take attendance and all that. 6 kids went to the regional and said, "We'll get up, we'll go for it," and go as part of the marketing class. So that's awesome. And they took it and ran with it. And they're a team that's going on to nationals. In my tenure, 17 years at Hale, I don't think I've had a national qualifier in anything. So this is phenomenal. And they'll talk more about the contest. It's really kind of cool how it all comes together. And Mr. Machinsky, thank you very much for your leadership with this. And I'll turn it over to them.
Sure. Starting off, thank you very much, everybody, for allowing us to be here. I appreciate the time of day that you guys have given us. So starting off with an explanation about what the competition is. It is a simulated marketing game of sorts where you sell phones to a public of audience. The entire goal is to achieve the most amount of money, and you get these different coins for different CSR bonuses and market share across the entire game. And we are going in, we're going June 6th, sorry, for nationals at Boston. And I'm going to pass it over to Robert.
So more about the competition, what we have to know is like when we go in there, we have to know what our market is. So who we are marketing for. We have to decide like what they're willing to pay for. And we also need to make sure how much phones we need to produce in order to not make too many to go under and lose money in the process. So a lot of our strategy was you need to capture the market. In order to move on, we used our marketing skills that we learned in our marketing class from our teacher to learn how to kind of gain of who we need to focus more towards and put more research and develop into those sections. Anything else you want to add to that?
If you don't,
A little bit about the process, how
Yeah.
how they got to this point.
Yeah, what was cool, I've taken.
come talk to the one.
I know I'm loud anyhow, but, so I've taken teams from Catholic Memorial, for 7 different years. And we've got kids in, low to mid 30s ACTs and stuff. We've never even won the local competition. So, I think the difference between those teams and these young men, and even the other team that we had who did rather well, they're problem solvers. So they can take a look at a situation and understand where they're at. And so what adaptations do we need to make before this next quarter in our business to do better? The other team, we had Latavion, Spencer, and Javaria. They ended up bankrupt after the second quarter and passed up, I believe it was 15 other teams to take 9th. So, in taking 9th, I think they learned a lot and showed that they had a lot of good skills too. So just really proud of these guys. They've represented West Allis well and probably the biggest victory was that we beat Brookfield East at the local competition. I was very satisfied about that.
Say it one more time.
We beat Brookfield East.
Really? I will text Dr. Hanson tonight and remind him. Okay, so thank you. Thank you for letting me know that.
So yeah, so the like I said, I was like you said, Mr. Lesser, the fact that they even got up on ACT day when seniors could sleep in and decided, yeah, we'll do this thing. So we went to Landmark Credit Union and they won the local competition, and then we were in Sheboygan at Acuity Insurance for the state competition, and they did a great job there as well. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun and really proud of them. They put in a lot of work. I gave them the curriculum, some guidelines, and they took the rest. So they've really worked hard. That's been great. So
Yeah, I mean, well, why don't you just tell us about yourself, son? Seniors, what are your plans?
So my name is Ashton Stonecipher, and my goals after high school are I'm actually going to the military July 27th. I'm shipping out. I am a 91 Bravo four-wheel mechanic, and I will be there for the next 5.5, 6 months until I complete my basic training. I will return to Wisconsin, I believe in January, which then I will be going out to Wyotech Technical College for degrees in mechanics.
I just completed a youth apprenticeship in business at Crystal Ridge, where I was the tubing manager. And I'm looking to use that. I'm starting off my career at the local 601. I just passed my test, and now all I have to do is graduate, and then I can go work. And then hopefully in a few years, I can be running my own commercial business.
I think you guys are the examples of what we're trying to do in the district is increase the opportunities for students. What I heard, you're not interested in college, military, technical stuff, right? That's great because that's your pathway. So I just commend you guys on your choices, and we're here to support you and your next steps. So it was important for me to have you here. When I received the email last week from Mr. Lesser, it was a long email. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was long. It was long. It's like, get to the point, man. No. But he was so excited to brag about your accomplishments. And so, it was the right thing to do is to bring you here tonight so the public could see you. And so we could brag about the things that you guys are doing. So thank you as well for leading them. Okay. All right. Thank you guys.
I just want to say real quick that we're super proud of them. These guys work really hard in class. It's going to be great to see you go if approved. And that was the big thing was it's a turnaround. It's unbelievable. It's like they say you have to commit by 3 days later. And so thanks for getting us in.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. We do have a question from one of the board members. If you guys can just stick up here for a moment, Mr. Lee.
I just had one statement really. And once you are successful in what you're doing next after high school, don't forget about us here. We love to have alumni come back and help mentor our students as they keep coming through. So you guys are great examples of the successes that our students can have here in our district. And I hope that you'll continue to be a part of it after you graduate.
Don't you worry. We'll both set up scholarships with our businesses.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Good luck at the nationals.
And now for our voice representative tonight, Mr. Tobias Jesse, fresh off a haircut and prom. I see you, Toby. I see you looking like your dad tonight too, by the way. The younger version. So Tobias is a senior at West Allis Central, captain of the football team, 4.0 GPA, and a member of the WAC leadership team. So Toby, just tell us what's going on at West Allis Central.
Well, recently we did have the orchestra concert, which I went to for Senior Assassin. My target was there. And let's see what else we got going on. Prom. Yep, we had that at the Emerald. It was very nice, besides the no AC mishap. So it was very hot, but I still had a great time, and everyone else did. And it was awesome. Mr. Summerfield set it up very nicely. I'd also like to congratulate Mr. Talani on being elected to the board. It's nice to meet you, sir. And also Dr. Robinson on being elected to the WIA Athletic Board. Of course. And that should be everything.
All right, at this time, I will open up public comments. If anyone would like to address the board, you have a limit. Your comments need to stick to 3 minutes. The board cannot discuss, debate, or act upon any item made during the public comments portion of the board meeting. Follow-up to public comments will be made by the superintendent at the next regular board meeting. All right, at this time, I do not have anyone signed up. I will give about 30 seconds if anyone would like to sign up from back there, or if you're on Zoom, if you just want to put your, the link is in the chat. All right, I don't see anybody signing up, so at this time, I will close public comments. All right, so now we are on, let's see, board report, board reports, item 9, so 9.1, review of the board calendar. All right, so tonight, May 18th, at 6 p.m. here, we had our regular board meeting. On June 8th at 6, we have our regular board meeting. The Finance Committee will be doing their workshop proposal of the 26-27 budget and preliminary tax levy. And then the Safety Committee workshop on safety and bags update number 2. And then June 22nd at 6, we have our regular board meeting and teaching and learning workshop on EOY and AGR data review. All right, from 9.2, board committee reports. We do not have any committee reports tonight. 9.3, board member reports of community events. Would anyone like to share any events they've been to? Mr. Verbose.
Hi. I took the opportunity to attend the Boxcar Children's Show at FLW on Friday, I believe it was. Thursday. It was Thursday. Opening night was well attended. I was curious to see how it would play out because of the lack of sets and props and stuff. Young kids, good performance, interesting show. I enjoyed it. It's good. Had a good time. That's about it.
Mr. Talani.
I attended the mental health fair on Saturday along with Ms. Steele. And it was great to see all the resources and all the organizations in our community that are ready to step up and help our youth and are doing the work. So,
Mr. Becker.
Friday evening, I went to the track meet at Hale, and it was neat because there were 3 events going on. There was a baseball game going on as well, and a girls' soccer game. So it was really exciting to see the entire facility in use at once. Hundreds of people, dozens and dozens of kids participating. Really nice night for it.
Mr. Lee.
Yeah, first I want to comment. I'm surprised that Mr. Verbose went to see the Boxcar Children. He never goes to any of those performances. So I'm glad you got out there. I was able to attend the same track meet that Mr. Becker was at, as well as an additional one that was held at for the JV GMC conference that was held on Saturday, which was another good showing from our students at West Dallas Milwaukee. And then I also was able to attend the orchestra and choir concert at Hale that was held on Thursday. And so it was good to see that's the last performances for our seniors at Hale. So they also had the awards for the seniors who were in orchestra, and they talked about band a little bit too, as well as choir, even though band did not perform. So a good performance by everyone there, and congratulations to those outgoing seniors in their careers in music here in West Dallas.
All right, anyone else? Yes, I just wanted to mention that I did attend the mental health and community resources fair at Central on Saturday. It was a really, really great. I hope that we can continue to expand on it and certainly advertise it a lot more. It was our first year doing it, but I was actually able to pick up a lot of really great resources for myself, for my own job. So it was great. All right. Let's see here. All right, then we have 9.4 other updates. I do not have any updates at this time. All right, so agenda item 10, consent agenda. We have 10.1, approval of minutes, 10.2, employment summary, 10.3, supplementary contracts, 10.4, financial report summary. Does anyone need anything separated? Nope. All right, at this time, then I would look for a motion and second to approve the consent agenda.
Move to approve 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, and 10.4.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes. And then we'll move on to our action items. So our first one, 11.1, Nathan Hale traveled to Junior Achievement Nationals in Boston. Ms. Braj.
You gotta be more.
Well, let's
aggressive.
actually, I'll go ahead and handle it. Go ahead and get set up for the next one. So we're asking for approval for the team that you just met to travel to Boston. This is because of it is a competition that they earned the right to do. This is why it's coming at the last minute. So we're just asking if the board would approve this out of town field trip. Boston.
Does anyone have any questions?
Ms. Hill.
Move to
Mr.
approve 11.1.
Oh, hold on.
Hold on.
Mr. Talani had a.
So I noticed it's during finals week. I just wanted to make sure there was an alternative plan to allow our students to take their finals ahead of time.
All of the
Okay.
academic requirements that we will make some exceptions for them to make sure that they're not penalized at all.
Okay, thank you.
All right, then I would look for a motion. Okay, then I need a
Second.
second. Any discussions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes. All right, then we have 11.2, our 612 social studies adoption, McGraw-Hill, Ms. Braj and Ms. Kelly.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for letting us come back for 2 weeks in a row. We're here tonight to ask for your approval of an updated version of our 612 Social Studies core resource, McGraw-Hill. Our district-wide committee, which we shared our process with you last week, engaged in a really thorough review of resources that would support inquiry and discipline literacy, as well as a strong alignment with social studies standards. So with your support, this adoption would guarantee that we continue to have really high quality instructional materials, both for our students to access and also our teachers to use as a guide in their courses. So with that, we're seeking approval of McGraw-Hill for 612 Social Studies core resource and a continuance of the updated version of that. And I'll pass it back over to Vice President Deal.
Thank you. I want to start out by asking committee members, do you have anything about this that you would like to add or any additional information?
No, I don't think I have anything else to add. The presentation was pretty thorough.
Okay. Then any additional questions about the adoption? Mr. Lee?
Just real quick, any changes from the workshop that we had last time?
No changes from last week.
All right, then if there's no further discussion, I would look for a motion and a second.
Move to approve 11.2, 6 through 12 social studies adoption.
Second.
All right, it's been motioned and seconded. Any additional questions? Discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, then we have 11.3, temporary waive board policies, 3122.01, 4122.01, 7434, and 830, Rule 2 for a City of West Dallas fireworks event on school district property. Ms. Strasser, or is it going to be? You got it. Okay, Dr. Robbins.
So I believe this is the third year that we will be hosting the July 4th fireworks event at the West Dallas Athletic Complex. And each year we come with a request of the board to waive specific things in dealing with policy, mainly around the fireworks, as well as the alcohol and tobacco policy. And so we're asking again for the third year that we support the waiving of these policies in order for us to, the city to adequately host the event.
Does anyone have any questions? All right, then I would look for a motion in a second.
Move to approve 11.3, temporarily waive board policies 3122.01, 4122.01, 7434, and 830, Rule 2 for a City of West Dallas fireworks event on school district property.
All right. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes. All right, then we are moving on to 11.4, Benefit Consultant Services RFP. Mr. Norris.
Well, Mr. Verbos is a tough act to follow here, so I'll do my best. Before I jump in, I want to introduce Mike Lukomsky. He's our current assistant finance manager, or soon-to-be finance manager with Mr. Borland retiring. So just want to welcome him this evening. We have about 9 slides. Mike will jump in and speak to some of the RFP. Mike led a lot of the RFP that we're going to talk through tonight. And then we have 2 gentlemen in the background introduced pending your guys' thoughts and approval this evening. So yeah, we'll bring them up in a second. Yep. So we want to talk through kind of like why now go to RFP for our health insurance consulting, and that the firm Brown & Brown is our current vendor. So we'll talk through that. We'll talk about the RFP process more. Mike will talk through kind of the criteria we use, the bids we received, the interview process, and then recommendations, kind of our thinking along the lines. And then we'll bring up Mr. Smesser, Mr. DiMatteo to talk through kind of who they are, history with the district, and their firm, what they can do for us. So why issue an RFP now? So we've been with Brown & Brown for a little under a decade. And so there was a shakeup with the firm, and a lot of the people that were working directly with our account left. And so we thought, hey, no better time to go out to bid and see what's out there. What's everyone else doing? What's the pricing look like? Kind of let someone else look at our business and go, here's what we might be thinking, right? Just a good, fresh look. And so we did that. That timeline and criteria, I'll let Mike speak to this slide and talk through kind of the criteria we used and kind of what that looked like.
Yeah, so some of the things that we were really looking for in the proposals, we reached out to some vendors that we knew, and then we posted it all over our district website and let anybody submit for this. But we were really looking for any firms with K-12 experience, first of all, because that's who we are. We were looking for clarity, completeness with their proposed services. And some of the things that we were looking for with that is, currently we're fully insured. So what do they see as kind of the future of renewals with fully insured type plans? And then also, what could they provide us if we were ever going to go to a self-insured model? So that was included in the proposal. Some of their results that they've had as a team, the service model, what they can provide as far as communication with the district, tools for our staff so that there is some learning involved with any type of benefit plan that we might offer. And then really, finally, what cost structure they might have, and then their transparency around compensation. So we put the RFP out there beginning of March, had 5 submissions by that April 2nd deadline. The team, myself, Aaron, and Jessica Johnson and Joe Rakowski, who are in benefits, we all came together and kind of reviewed those submissions and brought 3 finalists back for interviews that were on May 7th. And then today we're here seeking your approval. So our bidders were Brown & Brown, USI Insurance, Howden, R&R Insurance, and Gallagher. A lot of what we saw from these bidders were they handle most of the school districts in southeastern Wisconsin and throughout the state of Wisconsin. So pretty consistent with what we thought we would get back from the different bids. Yeah, sure.
So this is kind of a quick overview of the bids we got. Just kind of wanted to highlight, as Mike said, a lot of the categories we highlighted early in the presentation were pretty consistent across these 5 main players here. So it really came down to bringing the firms in mainly on price. So we brought in Brown & Brown, which is the incumbent. We brought in Howden, who is here tonight, and we brought in R&R for interviews. And through this process, we landed really on Howden, because mainly beyond just the price, given the team that left Brown & Brown, many of them went to work for Howden. And we really do, as Mike kind of hit on, we really feel like in the health insurance benefits area for our district, the next 24 months are probably the most pivotal for our district, because we've been with United Healthcare now going on 4 years.
We moved from WA when they closed. We got a 2-year rate lock. We've made some, I would say, some substantial changes the last 2 years. Like, we're running out of room here. And so we need to start looking into, like, okay, is there a way to move self-insured? Can we do that? What's the financial analysis look like? The next 24 months are really it for us. And so I think the team at Howden, beyond price that you saw, the knowledge and history of the district certainly played a factor in the discussion, because if we were where we wanted to be already, it wouldn't be a immediate concern of having someone like, we don't have the time for a new firm to come in and learn what they are needing to know here. So that was really important to the group. And as you say, like, the service team worked on 9 of the top 40 school districts in the state of Wisconsin. It's really important that we have people that have done this before. They've transitioned school districts, and they've kind of been through that process before. So I'll let Mike kind of talk through this piece before we wrap it up.
Yeah, so as Aaron said, they did come in on the lower side of the bids, but also we saw one of the real positives of bringing Chris and Lorenzo and the Howden team on is there isn't going to be that back and forth of trying to learn who we are as a district and the different plans that we've had throughout the past couple of years. They've worked on our proposals. They've gone to bat for us to try and to lower that renewal every year. So we already know what type of service they bring as far as customer service and the responsiveness to our needs. So that was really helpful in the process, as well as now some of the reach that they have now at Howden is more global. So they have greater capabilities with the data that they can provide our district. And we thought it was really a no-brainer.
So one last thing I'll add before we take questions and bring up Chris and Lorenzo. So the last thing I want to mention is that part of the RFP put together is we wanted to bring underneath our health insurance consultants, our HRA plan. So as it currently exists today, Brown & Brown, that is separate of their entity. They don't negotiate with NAS, Mid-America. They don't do any of that. And we feel like working with a Howden or a different firm that manages that, they can get us the best bang for their buck, because as you guys know, over the past 4 years now, we've been shifting dollars into our Fund 73. So there's a substantial amount of money there, and getting the best bang for our buck from an interest perspective benefits the employees, benefits the district, et cetera. The other thing I'd mention too, given that we were late to the game post Act 10 on, I guess, our OPEB renewal and like restructuring that, we have more retirees on our insurance. I know it's post 65 than we do active employees. So we're a very unique organization in that sense. Like, most school districts don't have that same experience. So during even the interviews, we were taking questions from firms like, talk to us more about that. And that's exactly what Mike's getting at. We don't have time to get people briefed on that, right? That's an important piece. And so I think pending questions, I'll let Chris and Lorenzo introduce themselves. Make sure the mic's green. But, yep.
Good evening, Chris Smessert from Howden.
Lorenzo Di Matteo with Howden Benefit Consultant. Nice to see everyone tonight.
So I think that's our presentation. Pending any questions from them, I know Chris and Lorenzo have a few minutes to kind of provide an introduction and talk a little bit more about Howden. So I'm not sure kind of what venue you'd prefer, Amy.
All right, well, let's start with any board questions.
Sure.
So anybody have questions? Mr. Lee.
How does the fee structure work? Is it a percent of something? Is it something that you renew every year, just like everything else that we renew every year? And then what is the basis on that? And I'm asking this because I always know that, especially with insurance companies, they want to get you in the door, and then there's like discounts that fall off. So that's what I'm asking about.
You guys want to take that?
Yeah, I think in this particular case, now fee structures can vary depending on a client. I think in this particular case, it is a base fee and some commissions that are predefined and always disclosed. So pretty straightforward. It's not contingent on, we'll just say you may hear about this, like percentage, for instance, of your medical insurance premiums.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, when your medical insurance premiums increase, your consultant automatically gets an increase. We prefer to not operate in that environment for full transparency. Great question, though.
Okay. Thank you. And then the other piece, it really is the self-insured piece that I know we've been looking at the last few years, and there is a group of school districts that are self-insured, but they kind of work all together, which we had never heard about. I found out about it at an education conference. So with whoever we end up going with that we at least investigate that to see if that would be something that would be useful for our district to look into to hopefully share some of those costs that we were discussing. So that was my questions. Thank you.
Yeah, I think in the next 4 to 6 months, certainly pre a UHC renewal, I think the board will be fully briefed on what that self-insured analysis looks like by maintaining the existing plan staff have today. That's what we've talked Chris and Lorenzo about. That's what we want to look at, because when we come to you and go, here's the fully insured renewal, the next question you should ask is, what's it look like to go self-insured? What's it look like over 24 months, 36 months? Because that's the place that we know we're going to end up. The question is when, and I think that is likely going to be now. So,
and to supplement that as well, so over the years, the district has had an eye towards self-funding. With a district your size, self-funding, I would say, is the position the district should be in. Now, historically, school districts have been more fully insured than self-funded because of predictability. But in the last 5 to 10 years, there has been a shift towards self-funding because of budget challenges for school districts, for seizing control of the health plan, because when you're self-funded, you have a greater ability to patch in the point source solutions you need and to really drive your health plan utilization. But the district has done a nice job of positioning itself over the last 5 to 10 years of implementing strategies to improve financial performance and utilization to get to a point where self-funding makes sense. In addition, with the clinic today, with successful self-funded strategies, clinics can be an integral part of that. So we could utilize the clinic in a much more aggressive manner if and when the time is right in a self-funded health plan strategy. So, what over the next 12 to 24 months, what we would expect to do is to, analyze the utilization, because self-funding sounds great, but it needs to make sense. So we'll talk through the financials. We'll talk through really the practical or operational implications, and we'll help the district weigh that, again, assuming that we move forward with this partnership. And so we're eager to do that. And as part of that evaluation process, there are 3 or 4 key components, as I'll call it, for self-funding. That's really looking at your medical administrator and your medical network. Today, it's United Healthcare. And you have the Nexus ACO network in place today, but then looking at pharmacy or pharmacy benefit managers, so the PBM world. And then we always get the question about the risk, the most significant risk portion of self-funding. So there's catastrophic risk insurance called stop loss. So that will be another critical component we'll evaluate in this entire process. And then I say fourth, because this is a big deal with the clinic. Again, we'll look at plan design with that clinic portion of it, but given how the district is positioned today, you could fairly easily flip a switch to convert from fully insured to self-funding with minimal impact. Same medical administrator, United Healthcare, same network, same pharmacy benefit manager. The significant difference there is in a self-funded model, as opposed to fully insured, the financial risk shifts from the carrier to the district. So that's really the primary difference between fully insuring and self-funding. So we would evaluate and present all of that.
and I think that's the key piece here, is that when we talk about things like employee retention, even our 10-year employees, 15-year employees, a lot of them, this is really important, this conversation, because for us to maintain the benefits we offer today, something has to change. Well, this is the thing that we think is going to make this sustainable for the next decade. And so having this team here is crucial to that, because we don't have 6 months to get someone up on board. And so I think that kind of, I guess, solidifies the thinking, I suppose. So.
And we didn't necessarily do formal introductions with any background. So I know Aaron mentioned that. So again, Chris Smesser with Howden US. I've been in the benefits consulting world for 13 plus years. I also practiced law prior to that. And in that capacity, also worked with school districts. So I've been working with school districts for over 20 years. And on the benefits consulting side, I've worked with many districts fully insured, many self-funded, and many that have transitioned from fully insured to self-funding. So a little bit more about my background.
Yeah, and I've been in the industry doing consulting for 12 years. So out of college, I worked in HR for a few years, but got into consulting after that. Similar to Chris, worked with a number of fully insured, self-funded clients, taken many clients from fully insured to self-funded. My other client base, I work with a number of public and private sector. And I know obviously we're focused on public sector here, but some of your competitors, right, are still a private sector as well. So it's important to have that experience also, in my opinion.
Great point.
All right, any other questions from the board? All right, I don't see anybody raising a hand, so then I'd look for a motion in a second, please.
Motion to approve 11.4, the Howden Benefit Consultant Services Contract.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Yes,
working
thank-
with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Some more.
Have a good evening.
I was completely stumped when I saw you guys in the back. I'm like, why is Brown and Brown? Wait, what's going on? Like, aren't we? Got it. Got it. You're Howden.
How? He moved to
Yeah,
Howden?
but both of these guys were with.
I thought I was one.
Yeah. I was like, why are they here?
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Aaron said that though.
I was. All right.
Yeah, they look familiar.
Right. All right. All right, let's move on to 11.5, 2627 district-wide community eligibility provision, CEP, Mr. Norris.
Thank you. So the CEP, community eligibility provision is an annual thing at this point that the board considers among May and June, which is to continue offering all students breakfast and lunch for free. We're usually aligned with the prelim budget, but since the CEP, we're actually up for renewal this year. We wanted to get board approval prior to submitting that end of May here. So we wanted to kind of get ahead of that a little bit. But we've done this now for, I think this is going into our 5th year at this point, and we've been able to manage our Fund 50 revenues with expenses while offering breakfast and lunch for free to all kids. So Mike and I have run the numbers for the end of this year. Fund 50 is looking to be a wash, meaning revenues balance expenses with students eating breakfast for free. That over time, we've been able to manage the Fund 50 expenses with the inclusion of things like amortizing custodial salary, time that they're in the breakfast and cleaning up, like things like that. That's effort and time specifically for that. So to me, like this is the best use of a benefit we have to offer all kids the ability to eat breakfast for free. I think this is a great thing to offer the kids and their families. So.
All right, any questions? Mr. Lee?
Is there a good reason to not maybe change a policy so that we don't have to do this annually? I can't imagine a point in time where I wouldn't be like, yes, we should feed kids. I understand there's a financial piece each time, but I'd almost rather have it be built in. And then the board at that time, if we didn't have the money for it, could take action to not do it.
Sure. I'd have to check on that. I know there's specific requirements with DPI given the federal funds requirement. So I'll have to check on that. It's a good question. I would agree with your comment. I'm sure the board would as well, but I'll check on that and get back to you in the finance committee.
Yeah. And then like, would it be a policy we have to change or is it something else that we have to do? But I was just thinking about that when I saw it on the agenda, but I think it's something that I'd rather bake it in almost and then have to take action to remove it.
Sure.
But okay, thank you.
Other questions? Mr. Becker?
I keep on reading the news and seeing about the affordability of things and anticipating food costs rising. I'm curious, how are we getting closer to the point where you're starting to wonder about this? Is this, I understand what you're saying as far as shuffling things around and how we manage those funds. Do you foresee a time when it won't be affordable?
I mean, it's possible. It's hard to predict kind of where the federal government's going to go with things sometimes. But at this point, we've been thankful that the increase in expense every year, which is tied to CPI, that's how food service contracts federally are required to be. The increase in revenue has been there to offset it. So at this point, at least for now, there's been a commitment from the federal government to do that, thankfully. There's more to that puzzle than I'm sharing, but you know, at this point, I feel confident with that. So,
Where?
yeah.
Additional questions? All right, then I would look for a motion in a second.
Move to approve 11.5.
Second.
Any additional discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes. All right, at this time, the board will convene into executive session in accordance with Wisconsin Statute 85-1F for the purpose of considering and discussing a specific personnel matter, which if discussed in public would have a substantial adverse effect on the reputation of the person involved. So I would ask for a motion and a second to convene into executive session in accordance with Wisconsin statutes, 19.85.
Move into executive session.
Second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded. Sarah, we called the roll.
Mr. Keller,
Yes.
Mr. Talani,
Yes.
Mr. Lee,
Yes.
Ms. Carr,
Yes.
Mr. Verbos,
Yes.
Ms. Lee is excused, Mr. Becker,
Yes.
President Burns is excused, Ms. Deal.
Yes. All right. What am I doing? Adjourning the meeting, right? Yeah, taking a break. Okay, so, and what is, I'm sorry, Brendan always does this. So if there's no objection, we will recess for 5 minutes to set up for closed session. We're in we're adjourned.